So now today's session is about Astro Vastu, and few of the techniques sir has already given regarding the Mars and the fourth house and all. Right. So I'll be sharing two techniques in this part one of the lecture. Right. And before I go for any Vastu inspection, or even before even if I look at any AutoCAD diagram of Vastu, first and foremost thing, I do cast a prashna and save it as first glance. Generally, in a consultation, astrological consultations are always used, prashna while uh, doing consultation for a native. So similarly, I cast a prashna every time. I whether I see a AutoCAD diagram of the flat or bungalow or any plot. That's first glance. And then the next when I visit that particular premise, and that time again I cast a prashna, and these two I tally, and then again there is a native prashna and all these things. In subsequent things, I'll give you a few tips and tricks. But this is something which is mandatory, and you should do it every time you do certain things about corrections, which is pertaining to Vastu, right? Uh, Before that, when we talk about Vastu, we talks about remedies, we talks about Vastu corrections. First, we need to understand uh, which are the natives who actually require Vastu remedies, or which are those natives who are susceptible for Vastu doshas, right? Everybody in this world living in a house may be having one or the other Vastu dosha, but is every one of them is susceptible, or every one of them is facing problem? Answer is no. So the problem comes as per the dasha, as per the transit gochar, and also it depends upon few other activations in the horoscope as well, right? So some of them I'll try to share in this lecture. So fourth house, as sir has rightly said in the horoscope, deals with the pleasure. And as per the Sanatan Dharma, the pleasure is associated with the home, right? So that's why we say happy home, or there is a phrase called as homecoming and all these things, right? So fourth house matters a lot when you do Vastu corrections or Vastu remedy. So fourth house and fourth lord from the ascendant, also from Mars ascendant or Mangal Lagna, is something which needs to be carefully looked at, right? Not only the natal chart, the fourth house, but you make the house where Mars is placed, make that as an ascendant and see fourth house from that, and observe whether there is any influence of the malefic planets, where by various means, presence, by drushti, by shadashtak yoga, and there are other malefic yogas as well, which you can see, right? So this is very critical and needs to be analyzed as step one. Afflicted Mars, which is again a significator of land or significator of properties, needs to be checked. If your Mars is debilitated, if your Mars is conjoined with Saturn or aspected by Saturn, uh, with Mercury or in Mercury sign and few other things with Moon specifically. I have seen many cases where Mars is with the Moon, right? And in the Antardasha period or Pratyantar Dasha period of Moon and Mars, a lot of upheavals in the life of the native, right? So this needs to be analyzed, right? Now, one more important things, the Capricorn ascendant people. I have a few slides made on Capricorn ascendant. Maybe in some time I'll share it. But uh, today, for the sake of homework, you can note this point as Capricorn ascendant are the people who are most susceptible and sensitive towards the Vastu dosha. So in your family, friends, whoever is having Capricorn ascendant, maybe you can collect their charts and collect their AutoCAD diagram of their house. And maybe someday we'll discuss in great details only about the Capricorn ascendant, why they are susceptible, and what are the probability or which zone in the house is more afflicted. case of Capricorn ascendant. So these are the three, four things which are regarding the fourth house, fourth lord, fourth from the ascendant, and then the Capricorn ascendant, right? Which needs to be analyzed every time when you see a chart in relevance to Vastu. Right. One more technique. So in Prashna, whenever you will see any malefic planets in the ninth house, or maybe ninth lord afflicted, maybe placement of Ketu in the ninth house specifically, you will see in that house there would be some or the other broken idols. I've seen many cases, many cases out of that. Maybe one or two I have shared in this presentation, right? So, as per the Lal Kitab, also the ninth house, or Lal Kitab Vastu, ninth house has association with the center of the house. Some of them also consider it as Brahmasthanam. So there is a heavy dosha in the Vastu specifically related to the deities. If you have any malefic, specifically Ketu, maybe it can be a Saturn or other malefics placed in ninth house specifically, right? You can also see it from Mars ascendant. So both the ways, like from a normal ascendant and from the Mars ascendant in Prashna. In case of Ketu, there would be some broken idols, which I have observed. If there is a placement of Saturn in the ninth house, I have seen lot of dust deposition in the temple area. In the house, generally we have temples, like small temples, right? I have seen a lot of dust accumulation uh, in the uh, in the temple area. Uh, then Mars also has given a similar result as that of Ketu. There can be some cracks, some idols having some cracks, some of the vigrahas maybe having some cracks. Photo frames specifically, I've seen, right? Uh, Venus Rahu combination, I've seen people use artificial flowers um, on the deity or on the vigraha, and also on the photo frames, right? Which is something which we should not do, right? So a lot of other things, but out of that, three, four things I have already shared: Mars or Ketu, cracks. I've told you when there is a Saturn placement, it would be untidy, or a lot of dust deposition. There can be some spider webs also if there is a Saturn Rahu in the ninth house in the temple premises, right? Uh, yeah, and Mars, I told you, similar result as that of Ketu, right? So these are certain things. The first and foremost remedy is to get rid of those deities or the Vigraha specifically, because the doshas in Vigraha are 1,000 times more than that of photo frames. So I recommend them to, do immersion in water or sea or any river or whatever water body which they have in their city, and do a proper, visarjanam of that particular vigraha, and then bring a new one, right? So this is something which I've seen. I'll share a few of the charts over here, right? So see this chart. There is a Leo ascendant and Mars and Sun uh, in the ninth house, right? Sun is again something which is not auspicious in the ninth house. It can give certain problems to the father, and cardiac related issues and all. But in the Vastu also, it acts similar to Mars or similar to Ketu. So this native has various idols and photographs and unworshipped religious items in his house. Something which is related to Ganesha, right? One of the reason which I can see is, see, Ketu is in trine with Sun and Mars, right? So Ketu trine Sun, Ketu trine Mars is something which is again uh, having connection with Lord Ganesha. And also, if you see Sun and Mars, which is again aspected by the Saturn from the third house, right? So there is an element of Saturn as well. So there was some uh, dust and all also, right? So one of the picture you can see in the bottom, right? So please take care. And if you have any of these things, it will absorb lot of positive energy and it will emit negative energy. So you need to take care of these things which are specifically if it is vigrahas, right? This is example one. Yeah. This is again second example. If you can see in the ninth house, there is a Gulika and Mandi, uh, and that too in a Rohini Nakshatra. So a lot of dust particles has been accumulated, and a lot of unworshipped material which has been placed in the house, which was later removed. Then again, there was an aspect of Saturn from the third house, which indicates dust accumulation, as I said earlier. So, yeah, I hope my slide is visible, right?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Now, this is a third example. Mars retrograde in the ninth house, right? This native has a frame or a photo frame of a Saptashringi goddess. So I've just placed a photograph. It's one of the Shakti Pithas is based in Maharashtra. So he was having a Saptashringi frame, goddess Saptashringi's photo frame, which was broken. Along with that, numerous Ganesha idols made up of fibers and like different iron material and other material which were kept as showpieces, which were later on removed when I guided them. So this is something which is again connected to deities and gods and goddesses, right? So needs to be taken into an account. All right. Next technique is my favorite technique, transit Venus technique in Vastu. Whenever there is a transit Venus over the fourth house or fourth lord of your natal chart, or even for that matter, in the annual chart, right? Varshafala, as we call it, it would ask you to spend some money in the house, some modification, some repair work, some painting, some electricity work, something of that sort. You'll spend money in your house is something which is very crucial. So which I've observed in various chart, but I think here I have shared one. Yeah, this is a chart. April 2023, when transit Venus was over natal fourth lord, Kritika Nakshatra. And, this native has initiated major civil work in his house, which costed maybe some around 30-40 lakhs, right? So, yeah, I think there is one more. Mm, this is another chart. Again, you can see transit Venus mid January 2023, one natal fourth lot, and again, some work related to interior or some corrections in civil work has happened in the house at that time. So yeah, so these were some of the techniques or some of the observations which during my Vastu practice, I've come across.
Excellent job, Dinesh.
Thank you,
Very, very,
sir. Yeah.
very happy.